Then I should have called them when we reached. He muttered under his breath. You smiled shyly and hid your face in Taeyang's chest, still shivering from the aftermath of the kiss. Your hair was a mess and your lips were soiled. You noted when you bite your low lip, bashful but pleased, as utterly satisfied over what just transpired. Time skips night. The night seemed to have fallen sooner than it was supposed to, and after changing into a night dress, he came downstairs to see Taeyang serving the dishes he insisted to cook. You smiled and walked to him. You look great. You examined seeing his arrangements and took a deep breath as the aroma of food teased your nostrils. You smells great. Taeyang, it will taste great too. Just wait and eat. Taeyang grinned. He made you sit on the chair and served you the food he made. Taeyang, all yours. He said and sat beside you waiting for your reaction. You took the bite and instantly the taste of the ingredients spread in your mouth. It was delicious. So delicious that you doubted he made it. You made this. He checked at your doubtful face. Taeyang, yes, I did. Now eat, he said, serving himself. But you haven't told me yet how and when you learned all this. You asked as soon as you were done eating. Taeyang kept the empty glass on the table, signing and smiled mirthlessly. Taeyang, I tried to master your favorite recipes, which you were cooked after I threw you out. He said, gulping hard. You looked at him confused. Taeyang, I missed you, but I didn't want to admit it, so I did things you used to like and ended up learning how to make the dishes you used to make for me. Soon I became a professional. He tried talking but couldn't. It just seemed like he was having difficulty breathing, so he stopped trying and simply looked pained, much shaken to you. Taeyang, I missed you a lot after I pushed you away successfully that time. It was like I was being haunted by a new force. The nightmares came back and I found myself unarmed. I was scared without you. Then, thank God, I had your picture though. He gave out a raspy smile, nodding at himself. Taeyang, yeah, thank God I had it. It helped me. It helped me sleep, helped me and keep myself together for a little longer before I fell apart without you. So yeah, I miss you, and that's why this. He gestured towards the food. You stared at him, your eyes glazed with a glazed layer of shame. As you blinked, one tear managed to trace it was down your cheek. I miss you too. Your lovely prepared as words made its way out, and your voice was just as agonized as his. Taeyang looked at you and saw the same longing, the same pain in your eyes. He gulped, sitting there and stared into your red eyes. Their emotion hung in air, making it all seem heavy around them, and unable to contain himself anymore. He stood up and pulled you into his face and passionate kiss. His lips crashed against you, and there you lost all your senses too. You responded with the same passion and kissed him madly, your hand working their way around his body, his shoulder, his back, his neck. You caressed him as you just met him after a long, lifelong sentence. Your tears broke free at the thought and mixed with his as he pinned you to the wall, still holding his down. They needed this for a reason unknown to them. They needed to know that they were here naturally with each other. His hands were on the brink of falling as he whispered and a new innocent touch all over his body, but he retained them and pulled back, almost hitting himself at it as he let a groan of resistance. Damn, you are sure? There will be no going back. He gasped breathlessly, staring deep into your eyes as you opened them. You breathed heavily and shook your head. You carelessly stayed looking at him with your misty eyes filled with anger. I don't want any going back. You are tired of carrying the weight of the past on your shoulder. For once, you want to forget everything and just melt in his arms, allowing him to magically soothe you. Two drops of tears escaped from your eyes and fell on your hand, causing him to look at you softly. He blinked out your breath and slowly leaned in, kissing away your tears. He seems to make it break down in a thought, and he pat you there softly, causing you to give out a small yelp. They didn't know what hit them after that. One action led to another, and they forgot everything and engulfed themselves in the finding us, the pain, the longing, the agony. They tried making up for everything. Tang made up for every tear he made you shed, reassuring you of his love again and again, and it was at dawn that the couple finally fell asleep due to exhaustion, securing each other's arms. Time skips the next morning. Your moon feeling the sweet take all over your body, then smile as they emerged more into Tang, your eyes still closed due to fatigue. You stayed and opened them slowly. A few minutes later to see your husband wide awake and already staring at you. The sunlight falling on his face and messy hair gave you a divine sight, and you placed your head on his bare chest, contented. He held you close, drawing random patterns over your bare shoulder and pressing kisses on your head at regular intervals. When did you wake up? You poured as you looked at him lazily. Tang, I never said. Tang whispered, raising your chin. Tang, you were looking too gorgeous for me to see. You checked it and pressed a kiss on his chest. He shuddered and pulled you closer as if wanting to match with you forever. Tang, I was afraid you were a dream, so I didn't close my eyes lest you vanish. He whispered, and you felt your heart clicking at that. You shifted yourself over him, your head falling like a veil on the side as you pressed your chest on his lips. I am here, you whispered soothingly. Tang smiled. Tang, I know, even though I don't deserve you, you're here. Tang, your call had a hint of objection, and he laughed and pressed a cup in your face. Tang, I know, I just feel lucky to have you by my side. He stared at you lovingly and picked your nose, causing you to giggle. Your giggles were heartwarming and filled his whole being with glee. Tang, I love you. He whispered, the moisture returning to his eyes again, and this time you didn't wipe it. You smiled and leaned closer and whispered before your lips found his. I love you too. Time skips the following month. They spent their alongside building his new world. Tang fulfilled every promise he ever made to his out to his you. So, be it the promises for the first marriage or second marriage, nothing was left out. He tried his level best to win beyond limits, in fact, to make up for the 10 the tears you shed because of him all these years and made you aware of what you really meant of him, how precious you were for him, and most importantly, reassured you of who actually was his priority. And you didn't do any less either. Overwhelmed and blessed with the love he was showering on you, you too filled his heart with every happiness, hate, every want he had buried deep inside of him because his company and not solely his wife. In short, you simply made him feel as special. He made you feel, told him that if you were his friend, then he was working. The families and also shown much understanding in the matter. They refrained from calling or demanding video calls, often knowing how crucial as well as essential these moments were for them. They needed to be left alone, and everyone respected that. Moreover, they couldn't be happier to see both Diana and you finally at peace and well settled. They were succeed in finding us they had been in search for, and this was relief for everyone. Tae smiled as he entered the room after his conversation with Arun, content that the latter has been doing pretty good both business and family-wise. Even grandma was better from the food she recently got, mostly because of the care of their Taeyang's uncle. He wandered his eyes around in search of you, knowing that you had been worried for grandma too, but then noticed the clothes washed on you. He shook his head as he sat himself on the bed, shouting, "Damn you, aren't you done yet?" He asked nothing, but you had entered the washroom to change into your night suit when Arun had called. "Damn you," he asked again, phoning when he again didn't get any response. He stood up and walked to the door, knocking twice. "Damn you." He raised his tone, but all he got was silence at first, but soon some sound of muffled cries from behind the door. Lines of worry mirrored his forehead as the cries intense as he banged on the door only to find it unlocked. He entered his side hurriedly to find you sitting on the edge of bathtub, covering your face with your palm and crying. "Damn you," he reached for you instantly and worried, but as he tried to take your hand away from your face, he noticed something on your arm. He still completely as he took the pregnant test which read positive. You sniffed and took your hands away from your face, only to a sob of laughter at Taeyang frozen form. You pulled him closer, hugging him by his neck and crying on his shoulder in addition. "Taeyang, baby, for real?" Taeyang whispered, still nowhere out of the shock. "Taeyang, baby, baby." He moved away to have a view at your face. "Taeyang, is this real?" You nodded. Your thought was too constant for you to speak, yet you cried. "U.S.S." You bowed your head, snaking your arms around his shoulder again. "U.S.S." You sobbed against the crook of his neck. Taeyang indeed feeling mist descending to his eyes as the words sucked in him. "Taeyang, wait, wait, wait." He breathed, breaking the hug, and reached to touch your stomach fleetingly. "Taeyang, she is here." He choked on his emotion, feeling too overwhelmed by the news of his baby, his angel back. Damn you, she's here, he whispered again, this time as a statement instead as he broke into tears, embracing his wife and crying all over you. Damn, she's here, she's here, she's here, he chanted like a mantra, feeling her emotions surging through him, making him smile, cry and frown at the same time. Yes, you sang, your heart soaring in happiness more and more so bubbled through you. They stayed like that for God knows how long, crying and laughing in each other, all waiting for the news to second community. They have been trying for almost a year now, and now when they have finally got what they wanted, what they got for, it's just as hard to believe that this is not all dream but reality. Tian sniffed and broke the hug to cover her face. Then, did you think you might be? He asked, wiping your tears. Oh, I don't know, you said, trying hard not to break into tears again as you touched your currently flat stomach. Oh, there was no symptoms. I just got the feeling, that feeling similar to what I feel in the past. I just felt pregnant, started giggling with masters. Unable to explain the motherly instruction you got about the possible arrival of your baby. Tian smiled and got Filipino into his arms. One drop of tear escaped his hand and he calmed both his wife and the pregnancy test tightly. Tian, I love you, he called with mysterious, causing you to lift your eyes to him. He angrily said to look down at you, tried to blistering in his eyes as he pecked your forehead. Tian, thank you so much for the most wonderful life and now for this beautiful gift. Still clasping his cord. No, she will come, right? She won't leave us this time, right? You asked, your voice quivering with the fear that had settled in you since you found out about your pregnancy. Tian gulped himself in terms at the thought of losing his baby again. Tian, no, he whispered firm despite the shivers. Tian, she will come, she will have to. Nothing is going to take her away from us, nothing at all, at least not this time. He cupped your face, staring into your teary, hazel eyes. Tian, I promise, he whispered before embracing you, his one hand over your stomach, ensuring his baby that indeed he will not let anything outward happen to her. It was after suffering for years and they have gotten this chance for not only being together but also being with their child again, and he will do anything to protect the small world of happiness they have created. Anything. You, I love you. You mumbled against his neck, pressing his skin in return and looking at him with baleful eyes filled with unshed tears. He breathed out, cupping your face and placed a sharp kiss on your lips as a gesture of showing you how glad he was. Tian, I love you too. He sat himself on the cold floor and breathed out, placing another kiss on your base stomach. Tian, and I love you too. Your eye cracked and he looked up at you. You smiled through tears before pulling him into a gentle kiss, feeling grateful of being blessed with everything you ever wanted, for being at the end of his written and passionate love. They now were complete in groups and they had it all, a perfect house, a peaceful life, and now with the arrival of their child, they sure had a blissful future awaiting them. And as Tan said, they will not let anything or anyone snatch these sounds from them, not even their own selves. You finally exclaimed, sagging in relief as you at last popped on your sofa after their long drive to the airport where they had been to drop off their families after a whole week of rejoining the good news with them. Taeyang excelled too, throwing his shoes away. He cuddled with you, smiling when you closed your eyes. The second you laid your head on his shoulder, he checked his watch and wobbled against your hair after pressing a kiss there. Taeyang, do you want to take a nap? There is still 3 hours left for your appointment. You replied already doozy as you snuggled more into him, causing him to check as he adjusted you in his arms before lifting you carefully. He kicked the mess lying on the floor on his way to their bedroom, mentally noting to clean it up before you back, lest you insist on doing it yourself. He placed you on the bed and mindful not to break the sleep you had already slipped into, conveying you with a to bed. He placed another fleeting kiss on your table before retiring to complete the pending work, leaving you to enjoy your nap. Your hand snuggling more into your soft pillows and duet, signing as your back pain finally started easing. It was about another 2 hours later that you slid out of your slumber, scratching your nose when a female smell filled your nostrils. You peed from the pillow you were hugging, yes, waiting when you saw Taeyang placing another glass of orange juice on the side table. No, not that again. You readjusted yourself in the bed and snapped closed your eyes, praying hard that you wouldn't have to drink that at another time. God, you might even kill the person who told him orange juice was really beneficial during pregnancy. This is how fed up and dominating you has been from drinking that every day. Dan kept his phone on the table after replying to the office-related message. He just got and turned towards us, shaping you. Dang, you, wake up. He shook your arm slightly, then groaned when his phone beeped again. He was just checking his notification when he noticed you from the mirror, peeking at him with one eye open before going back to your pretend sleep. He frowned and smiled in amazement at your antics, knowing that you must have seen the juice for acting like that. Damn, do I know you are awake? Come on, get up. He said after bubbling through him when you stayed a bit, groaning as if his voice disturbed your sleep. You look so cute. Dang, you, either you get up now and finish this whole glass, or I will cut off your sweets for a whole week. I threatened, then split. Then you chucked the duet aside and sat up pissed. Dude, Dang, what is your problem? Why can't you let me sleep peacefully? Dang, you can complete your beauty sleep later, sweetheart, but now you need to get up, bring this, then get ready to go to the hospital. You, is that an order? Dang, if that make you compel, then yes. Now don't rely me up. Drink this. He took the glass and outstretched it to you, trying hard to keep on with his poker face and not burst into laughter when your jaw dropped. You looked young, keep tried again, looking at the glass, then at him with a consoling smile. I know about pregnancy, okay? And it is fine to skip one glass of this. You can't show your face. This was I already drank one this morning. On top of that, so please, no more, please. You made a pouting face, causing him to shake his head at you. Damn, nice ride, baby. Now drink this and get ready. Otherwise, be ready to bid farewell to sweets for a week, he said, handing you the glass and left the room before he actually met, hearing a hoof erupted behind his back. Time skips at hospital. Doctor, the reports are all fine, Mr. Kim. Both your wife and baby are healthy. But still, I will not recommend traveling. It is not for now. Tiang, is there any complication, doctor? Tiang asked, clapping you hand. Doctor, oh no. As far as I can see, there are no complications, but owing to the complications you had in your first pregnancy and the health issues you has been ever since, it will be advisable to be more cautious, especially in your first trimester. There's just a lot going on in this period. The doctor smiled. Doctor, so yeah, prevention is always better than cure. You have to be more careful, more than usual, just so we don't have to face any complication in your pregnancy afterwards or in the delivery. But of course, you don't have to worry. Doctor, just take your medicine, be active when needed, and then rest when needed. And obviously, a healthy diet is the key. Because you have to double the intake of nutrients so both you and your baby can be healthy, okay? You look at Young, who was already staring at you with a notebook before swallowing and nodding. You then went silent for the rest of the appointment, nodding and giving monosyllable answer only when asked something, and you continued like this throughout the entire drive back to home, and Young didn't miss to notice that. He waited for you to finish the medicine and come back when you gave him the half-empty glass to keep on the table before holding your hand. Young, what's wrong? You shook your head as nothing, gave him a small smile, which he noted didn't reach your eyes, the smile eyes that you heard soon after replying. He lifted your chin, making you look up at him again. Damn, tell me, please, what's wrong? He asked again with emphasis, seeing you lowering your eyelashes again as if to hide yourself from him. He watched you as you took in a deep breath and waited patiently for your reply until he had a small nod. I'm scared. Damn, you, he gasped when you lifted your misty eyes to him. I'm scared, damn. What if we lose her again? Your whisper was quickening, strained with your sad fear. Damn inched closer and pulled you in his arms when your tears started flowing and you gripped him tightly. I don't want to lose her again, not again. Your voice was muffled against his chest, softly, his liquid flowing from your eyes and soothing to young shut. Damn, you relax, he said, caressing your back when you started trembling. His own eyes moist at the thought. He gulped his stomach and cuddled you closer. Damn, nothing will happen. Did you hear me? We will not let anything happen to our baby. This time we will be more careful, as the doctor said, and you will be fine. We will love her so much. She won't even think of leaving you. She will. But I did. You enjoy sniffing. I did all this in the past too, and despite all their caution, I ended up losing her to one mistake. You crying now while his girlfriend removes, knowing well what mistake you were referring. Mistake of loving him way too much. Damn you, he felt a pang in his heart as he covered your face and wiped your tears. Damn, please stop crying. He breathed out, pulling you in his arms again when he said 2 more drops of tears fell from your eyes. Damn you, we remember what we decided. We decided to stay positive, to be confident on our care, that it will protect our child, to protect now that she is coming. We decided not to cry and let any negativity from the past affect us, didn't we? You? There was a brief pause before she went on. Damn, we need to impel that whenever we are scared. We need to be confident and happy this time. Tell her how beautiful her life is going to be once she is here. And as will have you. The rest will automatically be fine. Then I promise. He's finished his head to look at you, who was already staring at him. You pulled back from his arms, nodding. You okay? You sniffed so adorably that Tiang couldn't help but smile. Tiang, so now stop crying and get some rest. My baby must have already been drained out by now, he said, chuckling slightly as he wiped your face. You compelled and laid yourself on the bed, wrapping your arm around his torso to get some much needed sleep, trying your level best not to think about anything negative. Owing to the tiredness you was feeling since the morning, you thankfully fell asleep fast enough for Tiang to detangle himself from you. He took a pillow and placed the arm with which you were hugging him on it carefully before kneeling on the floor near your belly. He slowly removed a saree from his face and smiled as if bleeding, touching his princess. Damn, hi princess, he whispered in a barely audible voice, lest she end up disturbing his sleeping beauty. Damn, it is me, your dad. Do you remember me? We once met in that. He paused to unclog his closing up throat. Damn, we once met in that beautiful field. Remember, you were with your grandmother, smiling and waving at me at your dad. His voice trailed off as a lone tear trickled down his cheek. He wiped them as he continued. Damn, I just want to tell you that you don't have to worry, okay? Your dad will be here with you and mom, and he will handle everything. I will not let anything bad happen, either to you, not your mom. I will take care of everything, I promise. He inched closer and placed a soft kiss on your stomach. Damn, I love you, princess. When did you meet her? He looked up almost at the voice to find you wide awake, your eyes having precursor of tears as you greeted him. Damn you sat up straight on the bed looking at him quizzically. You said you met her. Where did you meet her? You asked again. You were awake in the minute Young touched your belly, but didn't open your eyes, waiting for him to finish the conversation he was having with the baby, feeling your heart clenching at these wavering whispers. You rushed to intervene when he tried refusing. You know, tell me please, when did you meet her? What will? He looked down suddenly, not wanting to bring the memory of those days in your head. Oh damn, when you pleaded again and he signed giving in at last. When I first attempted suicide, then I saw her, his world, blinking back the tears, what blipped in his eyes, and glanced up at you to find your shoulders humming. He wiped your unshed tears. Then she was with mom, happy and giggling. She had your eyes, but she had your smile. You completed in a whisper, and he nodded, smiling almost cheerfully. You inhaled sharply. I am sorry, Taeyang. Taeyang looked at you, frowning. Taeyang, for what? For hiding my pregnancy? I should have told you. I should have given you your rights, but I didn't. And I am so sorry for that. Your voice was racked with guilt as you spoke, still staring into his eyes, which shone with the fatherly affection he held inside of him for the child he never even got to know about, not until you were gone. Till date, you has been telling yourself that you did right by hiding your pregnancy from his monstrous form, but now you couldn't help but wish that you had decided giving him in. Maybe then the sinner would have been different. Maybe then the baby would be alive, and today they would have been awaited their second child, all merry. Thanks, I'm seeing you drifting back to the past. That was why he never wanted to tell you about his encounter with the daughter. Then it was not your fault. You don't blame yourself. In fact, he cupped your face, giving you a small, bittersweet smile. Then, in a way, I am grateful that you didn't tell me, because if I had ended up saying one outrageous thing about you, then today I would have lost the remaining right I have to call myself a father. He said with emotion so palpable, you felt your eyes tear up again, this time for him, who was trying his hardest to keep his tears at bay and give you a smile so you wouldn't feel any moods of sadness. Your heart scalded the and you rose yourself on your knees, curling his head on your collarbone and started caressing his back, then smiled briefly when you felt moist on your skin. Dang, I love you. I hate you. He thought the spell you threw at him and was about to smile at having survived your attack when an apple came crashing against his forehead. Dang, how you serves you right. You gritted into the cushion you had just picked up with unfortunate misery, staggered and hit the waterboard beside him instead. That's unfair. Why are you hitting like this? Damn complained, acting as innocent as he could while rubbing his forehead. That's unfair. I'm unfair? You damn. You exclaimed fuming. You flirted with me shamelessly in front of our family, and then, as if it was not enough, you teased the hell out of me, giving them the chance to do the same as now I am being unfair. Then I just did as they told me, and that was to love you. And then just ask me a simple question: that why were you so red? What did I say wrong? He asked, trying but failing to keep up with that innocent face, and he laughed over and pushed forth, fueling your anger. You You looked around in such a open sign because the checkup wasn't just causing his eyes to go wide at your sanguinous. He shrieked when you indeed lifted it to attack him and held your hand pinning you on the way, making sure he doesn't hurt you in the process. You don't touch me. You began trying futilely to break his hold on you, while he waited for you to calm down, enjoying the adorable sight of your angered face and little red nose. He could watch you like this for an entire day, given that your hands are away from everything solid around you. You looking away from his smiling eyes when all your attempts were all done. He asked and you doubted in response. He stiffly shook his hand up your face, saying, "Okay, sorry, I agree. I shouldn't have flirted with you when we are still on video call with our family." You looked at him, narrowing your round eyes at him. Damn, not should have teased you like that, sorry. He completed then shook his head when your expression didn't change. Damn. And I will neither flirt in their presence nor will I tease you hereafter. Is it okay now? You smiled, seeing him attending the puppy eyes for you and wrapped your arms around his neck. You, okay. You mumbled and switched the position so you were laying on top of him and pecked your forehead. Damn, but real talk though, you do look like a tomato when you blush. And as soon as did the words escape his mouth that he had to run around the house for his life as you fumed again. Later after that night, Young woke up from the constant movements on the bed as well as from the smoke he was being blessed upon. He opened his rosy eyes to see his wife staring restlessly in your sleep, letting out small moans of cries which he had been missing to hear in his sleep summer. He murmured sleepily cupping your face when he felt moist on your cheek. He sat up, his sleepiness gave way to panic as he tapped your face. You wake up, you opened your eyes at his voice and sat on the bed terrified. Tiang held your shoulder before wiping your face. Tiang, were you having a bad dream? You shook your head crankily. I can't sleep. You sniffed same movie when you had it. I like crying. I don't know why. And your words did nothing but dad at Tiang. Just as few hours ago, you were fine, giggling and chasing him around the house before drifting to sleep with a beautiful smile. And now you are here like this. His sign of pregnancy hormones. Tiang, it's okay. This is common in pregnancy. You know. He swatted his hands. He tried to embrace you. I have been pregnant before, but never felt like this. I was moody at times. I did feel sick too, but not like this. It's something else. I don't know what. You showed in attention as you leaned on him. Tiang placed his one hand over his head while wrapping the other one around your shoulder. Tiang, every pregnancy is different. Relax, it's fine. He moved but couldn't prevent the virus seeping into him too. Tiang, did you hear what the doctor said? You are completely fine. There is nothing wrong. Tiang said softly, raising your head as they waited the doctor for the ultrasound. You nodded at last, giving out a genuine smile in your lip. Tiang had been right. This pregnancy was far different from the first one, and you have been very sick lately, and the new one seeking feelings we were having. But now that the doctor has confirmed that they were merely your pregnant symptoms, you can finally breathe. Doctor, ready to hear your baby heartbeat? The doctor came in, smiling at the couple. The youngest, young holding your hand. His other hand was on your head, caressing your head. You followed the suit, anticipation bubbling through you. Doctor, or then the doctor said as she lifted your side and started applying the gel. They looked at the screen in front of them with barely breath, feeling each second passing by like an eternity as the doctor moved it. Turned around trying to look at the baby, but as she finally looked at them, they felt their breath freeze completely. You gasped, your wide and eyes fixed on your screen, mindless of the tears streaming out of it. You let out a sob as you started regaining your sense and looked up to find Tiang still too. With Tiang, your cracked whisper made him look down and you noted that his eyes were moist too. Damn you, this he couldn't continue as joy seeped through him, breathing shouts of glee in him, and he pressed his sleeve against his mouth to prevent his sad screams. You closed your eyes and covered your face, screaming and crying at the same time. The sound of heartbeat still resounded in the room. You peeked through your finger a second later when you were engulfed by an exhausted Tiang at the scream of their babies. Doctor, twins, congratulations. Damn, doctor, is everything alright? You is fine, right? He asked professionally, glancing at escaping you from the balcony, making sure you were fine. Doctor, yes, she is. The doctor spoke through the phone. Doctor, there is just something I would like to discuss about the pregnancy without your presence. Damn, go on, he nodded. Doctor, first of all, hearty congratulations for having twins once again, and second of all, I just wanted to talk about how your her pregnancy can be a bit more difficult now that you are accepting twins. I knew I already filled you in about almost everything related to your physical health, but I also had to talk to you about her mental health during the pregnancy. Damn, okay, damn, I'm preparing already. Doctor, well, as you know, twin pregnancy is different from single term. The symptoms such as morning sickness and fatigue are double in some cases, but alongside that, the weight gain is also different. Doctor, mothers tend to gain more weight as the babies grow, and consequently, with the weight gain along with physical pain, there are a lot of insecurity about one's body that creep on in the mind. It is usually nothing to worry about, but as time passes, it can result into depression, especially after giving birth. Doctor, and today you told me about her anxiety and fear of losing her baby again. So that can trigger depression too. So I just needed to inform you this because medical wise doctor can help, but emotional wise only you can help her. I hope you understand. Tiang decided, thank you doctor. Tiang signed heavily, cutting the call before entering his room. He sat beside you and as if sensing his presence, you turned and wrapped your arm around his torso. He smiled, taking your template. Tiang, you will be fine, I promise. He moved against your skin before pressing another kiss there, this time in gratitude for everything you bestowed over him by taking so many troubles yourself. The next morning, you woke up from the sweet smell that filled your nostril, followed by the soft tune that fell into your ears as you rose from your pillow and you fluttered your eyes, lashes open, reaching for your husband, but instead something soft and nice came under your palm. You lifted yourself on your elbow with rosy eyes, taking the bouquet of red Claudius with a smile carving on your lips. You inhaled the fragrance of the beautiful flowers, then insect them when you found a small note on which you read by the strong woman. You smiled blithely, shaking your head, seeming like your tongue is in his appreciative mood today. You lifted your eyes, gasping, as you noticed that their entire room was filled with different kinds of flowers in different colors. Another bouquet consisting of red carnation was on the side table, and you giggled happily as you took them in your hands too. You stood up and placed the flowers on the recliner, admiring the beauties around you before rushing out in search of your husband. The tune grew louder as you appreciated the kitchen and your jaw dropped, seeing him running here and there, his face as well as his apron stained with flour. You Tae-Young, you called in wonder, walking to him, glancing around in search of mist, but surprisingly, except for a few weird here and there, the kitchen was fine. Tae-Young, hey, Tae-Young smiled as soon as he saw you. He approached you and picked your lips. Tae-Young, good morning to you. Tae-Young, but what is all this? He was confused but nothing less grinning. Tae-Young, well, today breakfast special will be prepared solely by me. You get to only rest. Tae-Young said, waving back the old spatula. You giggled at the sight. You and may I know what is the reason of this special treatment? He narrowed his eyes and wrapped his arm around your waist. Tae-Young, do I need a reason to pamper you? You know. You replied, all smiles. Tae-Young, good. He grinned. Tae-Young, go and freshen up now. Something tasty is waiting you. Indeed, the breakfast that he had prepared was the best thing you ever had, and its appetizing none of his dishes made you feel nauseous or sick, and you were finally able to enjoy a whole meal wholeheartedly. But if you thought that was the end of his surprise, then you're wrong. He announced his complete day off from the office after the breakfast and expressed his plan for a day out, and you compelled happily. It was as if the nature was in their favor too, and the dark clouds favored the way of other sublime sun as they started their outing with a small stroll in the park, talking and laughing in each other while admiring their beautiful surroundings. Dang you, look, this is so pretty. You looked up from the puppy doll you were inspecting at the pink and white tennis blocks he was holding. They came to the mall about an hour ago for getting you some new clothes, and automatically they found their way into the kids section. You, oh goodness, yes they are. You smiled now, reaching to feel the fabric. Dang, I know, right? And this will look perfect on our princesses. Dang said, already picturing his two teeny little babies dressing in this and giving him the most beautiful smiles. The image itself was so adorable that he couldn't help but smile wider. Dang, I'm buying this. You narrowed your eyes. You, how do you know it is two princesses and not one prince and one princess? Dang, further instincts. Dang, and peculiar. You gasped at a sudden gap, glancing around nervously, then exhaled immediately when there was no one there to witness anything. You, Taeyang, we are in public. You flushed, trying hard to get the red tint off your face. Taeyang, so? Taeyang raised his eyebrow. Taeyang, you are my wife, and I am allowed to love you whenever and wherever I want. He said and stole another kiss from you so quickly you couldn't even step back. You, Taeyang, I am warning you. Keep your mouth and love with yourself while we are here, otherwise you will not be allowed to do anything, not even when we are alone. You said sternly, inwardly blushing at your own word, then giggled at his sulking face as he stepped back, muttering something under his breath. They came back home when the sun was on the brink of sinking behind the clouds and had decided to spend the lovely evening in their backyard watching and enjoying the sublime sunset. You adjusted your shovel on your shoulder and leaned against him, smiling as he wrapped you carefully in his arms in response. You know, when I was kid, I always thought sunset was a sign of strength. Auntie used to say that sun become dimmer and dimmer behind the dark clouds, but then every morning when it rises again, it is brighter than ever, and that's a message to learn from. That no matter how weak situation make you, if you want, you can always have a new beginning with a brighter motivation. You giggled as you added. You, and that was why I used to make a promise to the sunset every evening, seeking strength for following what I want. Tang smiled at you once in amazement and delight, both as he wanted his eyes from your angelic face to the sinking sun. Damn, okay then, he exhaled, pulling you closer to him with both his arms around your belly before he closed his eyes. Damn, I seek strength from you for the fulfillment of every promise I made to my family, to my unborn babies. I make the promise again to always love them more than anything, to place them at the top of my priority and to be with them forever. He whispered and opened his eyes, the orange hue from the sun adding beauty to his view. He looked down at his wife, smiling through tears, and with one kiss on your forehead, he held you tighter. You promised you would be here. You once sitting on the recliner with the phone pressing against your ear. Dang, I know I told you I will be back in 3 days, but some urgent. You're fine, stay here only. For as much as you would please, but don't you dare to try to talk to me again. You would understand the phone on the table and set your back holding your 8 months old pregnant belly. You look like your dad is more attached to his work than he is to us. Babies, your mother cursing yourself for even sending him on that subtle quick business trip office, which will now take him yet another day. Now what What will you do? Do you even dare going out with the family who came a few weeks ago for shopping and dinner, thinking that he was going to be back and you needed to be here for him? You gritted your teeth, it went to teeth that young lesson once he came back, but it was because of him that you missed a chance of going out that too futilely. You got up from the recline to sit it on the bed and watched TV in an attempt to pass your time now. You were grateful for channel which was airing your favorite movie and you made yourself comfortable in your bed list. You want to trigger the usual painting and laughing and giggling at the scenes. It was unbeknownst to you when your eyelids started dropping and you felt less quicker than usual. It was a loud climb that made you wake up with a jolt and looked around frowning when you found flowers all around you. You gasped as the delay sinking in before leaping out of the bed and hurrying outside, of course, as fast as your currently device pedic bones allowed you to. As you exited the room, the first thing that came into you was a trail of roses petals which led to the living room on either side of the pathway, skirted sandals aligned perfectly to brighten your way. You stepped on the soft petal, lip curving into a small smile as you entered the hall to be awestruck by the dimly lit atmosphere with the aroma of flowers, candles, and freshly cooked food filling the air around you. And at the distance by the dining table stood your husband, who turned towards you after lighting one last candle. A smile spread across your face, giving you way to an extra grin as you hurried towards him and wrapped your arms around his torso. He held you close, inhaling the scent after 3 whole days, and was able to talk when you pulled back, sweating his hands off your shoulders. So you lied to me? You exclaimed, your mouth forming a perfect O shape when their recent conversation crashed in a mind, and grin tucking you back into his arms. Didn't you really think everyone will just leave you alone like this? You raised your eyebrows. So that means everyone was ignoring me. Daniel, surprising you. He corrected and made you sit on the chair. Damn, now let's see. I'm sure except for talking and hoping to yourself, you haven't done anything since cutting the call. You hoofed again but with a face smile visible on your face and he sat beside you and lifted the spoon to your lips. You compelled and fed him the first bite too, indeed overwhelmed by his surprise. But young, how did you get inside? I remember. No, I had locked everything properly. You asked abruptly while playing with his shut button. They was in bed, resting after they had filled a conversation while they ate their dinner, and now as they lay in silence, you couldn't help the question that occurred in your mind. You sure didn't hear any window breaking either, then how did he get in? Then I had asked Tia to hide the spare key under the doormat before she leaves. I told her to so I could surprise you out of the blue. But when I came in you, fast to say it was good. At least the flowers and candles were out better use. He pecked your forehead and rolled over you, mindful to keep one hand on your heavily pregnant belly lest he hurt their babies. Tae-Young, I miss you so much. He rasped and kissed the corner of your mouth before nudging your skin with his nose. You closed your eyes, wrapping your arms around his shoulder for you to had missed his whatever you. I miss you too. You whispered breathlessly as he nuzzled your neck. They giggled when his stomach tickled you. You were able to pull him up for a kiss when you felt his sudden breath, which floored you on the spot. Tae-Young paced the length of the corridor, helplessly pressing at the crowd of a labor room behind when you were screaming and shouting in labor pain. He sat down, tapping his foot impatiently, then started pacing again. After a few minutes, repeated the same thing over and over again. He had been like this, stupid, confused and panicking since you told him you were about the event being not too long ago. In his way, he even ran past his car, all set to take you to the hospital in his arms. Surprisingly yet fortunately, you were more in your sense than him and had expertly told him to use the car and be big chemist under the wave of contraction. Hyra Tae-Young, Priya Tae-Young, he looked behind to see his sister and sister not running towards him with the inter-family trial behind them. Priya asked as soon as she reached him, in reply of which he just stayed at the door. Hyra Tae-Young, you will be fine. Hyra, who saw the look of trepidation and panic on his face when you screamed again, came forward, reassuring him. Tae-Young, she has due in another 2 weeks, he simply said in response, breathing heavily due to his increasing anxiety. He became more distressed when a few minutes later your shot damaged completely and was able to bark into them when he stood rooted to the ground, hearing shrills of infant cries. Everyone's real and he remained silent and backed from the door, breathing out slowly. He was the first one to upload the doctor when she outside with a close smile. Doctor, congratulations, you have two baby girls, she informed. Everyone's equal crying out loud due to the happiness and embraced each other. Tae swallowed, feeling himself coming back to his sense when his sister hugged him. Tae, how is you? He asked, his thoughts strained with joy of now having three princesses to cherish. Doctor, she is absolutely fine. You can meet her now. He entered the room and saw the nurse tucking his second princess in your arms while the other was already fast asleep in your embrace. You looked exhausted, but your face was still glowing as you cuddled the two bundle of happiness close. A lump formed in his throat as he walked towards him, feeling his breath getting stuck somewhere on the way out when he got closer view of his angels. His eyes filled with unshed eyes as he didn't know how to feel or react anymore. He was just too overwhelmed. And they are beautiful. He completed feeling your own tears escaping when they opened their eyes at their father's voice as if thank you. Tae-Young gasped, staring into the hazel eyes that peered at him. Tae-Young, she has your eyes, he whispered, mesmerized. And she, as he was staring at you like Tom, which held the exact copy of him. He looked at you, falling in love with the soft smile that you gave him. You sniffed and pressed a kiss on your baby forehead before looking up at him. You, they are perfect. You croaked. The young nodded, eyes filled with surprised moisture, some of which finally escaped as he closed his eyes and kissed your damn forehead. Saying, thank you for the most executive gifts. Kyra, all that is okay, but have you thought of any names for them? Or are you planning or calling them Junior You and Junior Taeyang based on their eye color only? Asked, looking at the angels, saying peacefully between their parents. Nikhil, I got an idea. Nikhil checked. Nikhil, how about we call them Sia and Yang? You know Taeyang, we recently watched that movie and they were too. Iran Nikhil Bada. Iran went before he narrated them the whole plot of his movie. Ira, Sia and Yang are beautiful, but they won't suit them. However, Anu and Gia. She suggested, but it was met with skepticism as well, as everyone started searching their own ideas and even making up new names. Taeyang and you shook your head, them smiling at each other. Taeyang, guys, stop. We have already picked up their names. Taeyang shouted over the batter, finally putting a stop at the conversation as the stadium team excitedly. He shared another look with you before announcing the names. Taeyang, Hashi, and Alia. The proud parents smiled as everyone sick was saying the names again and again. Taeyang and you, meaning the joy of all lives. The name they picked up was obviously out by their family. However, the official name gives Sima was held a week later party to give their relatives time to attend the function, but mostly because they wanted to have a grandiose celebration so he could announce the arrival of his princesses along with their name to the underworld. And as he wanted, the ceremony was a great success. The media won gaga over the arrival of Kim Princess and the Kim family were again the top dog. But the thing that pleased him the most was that it is all brought a wave of joy for you who couldn't ask for more when your babies were being blessed with so much love by everyone. We were also thankful to the Inter family who had been considered while throwing this grand celebration and had kept the press at the moderate distance from you and your teenagers as they got hurt. Taeyang was with you the entire time, equally participating in handling the two babies with Nikhil and Naran and his new friend Ishika were tackling the media whenever they went crazy. This was another reason for you to be happy with the arrival of Ishika. When you first met her at the start of the ceremony, you had already sensed something odd the way Aaron had introduced her to everyone, but you had shook it off, thinking it'd be another trick of your man. But as time passed by, the way the two stick together was definitely an indication of something more than friendship. You even signaled young to look at them when they were standing shy glance from each other. But your slow husband had used the cue and had engaged himself in playing with his daughters instead. You just tried to investigate as much as your baby allowed you to, and were now content that you was something brimming between them. That made you irritated because you knew if I had one, then the remaining trace of past will also leave your sister alive, and they all will be happy, truly happy this time. You signed wiping your face after the much awaited hot shower as you exited the bathroom. The first sight that greeted your eyes, however, threw all your remaining tiredness out of the window, and you smiled fondly, looking at your husband, who was cuddling both their babies, rocking them slowly, humming a soft tune for them to stop doing. You were almost surprised at how easily he quieted them. You wiped your eyes, which stayed up before hopping beside them on the bed. The youngest fell and placed both Asher and Alia on the space between them with your help before cupping your face. Tiang, are you okay? He asked, concerned, knowing that you were still in pain due to the stitches of your delivery. You blinked, nodding, and then chuckled as you caught the sight of your chocolate brown-eyed baby. You earlier didn't have solely your eyes, but also your attitude. Look, she is still grumpy. You remark, laughing to yourself as you remember earlier scolding at everyone throughout the ceremony. Tiang raised his eyebrow, then pointed towards Ashi, who was already summing into your chest. Tiang and Ashi's chest look already going into her food. You deliberately showed her that Ashi had grip, then started Tiang. Tiang, it is true. He laughed and leaned into kiss you when he felt some touches on his stomach and arm and could down to see why they started frowning now as they made heavy sounds of resistance and tried to push him away from their mother. It was your turn to raise your eyebrows now. Both of them are like you. You said keeping when Tiang started talking in baby's tone, asking the daughters whether they have any problem sharing their mother with him. They retorted that you was his wife first, then Lali kicked his face in response while Aishi was just giving it the funny sounds your father was making. You opened your eyes and slowly slide your hand up to and grip your eyes from the bed with equal kindness, and once you showed that your three babies were okay went to the balcony that night place was chilling and made you wrap yourself in your own embrace as you tied your head towards the sky and closed your eyes. A while later, you felt a pair of arms around your waist and just smiled, leaning against him with your eyes still shut. What are you doing? He asked before placing a kiss on your shoulder. You opened your eyes at last, gazing at the shining stars. I was thanking our parents for sending our babies into our lives, and also I was promising them that we will give them unconditional love and care. Then we will. He tightened his hold on you, lifting his eyes to the sky. Thank you to you too. You angled your head to pick his jaw. Damn why? He frowned his face, turning his eyes back on you. you for everything, for your patience during my pregnancy. Because I know I was hard to handle, for loving me and taking care of me despite my unnecessary fuss, for helping me handle them. Oh, stop there now. Didn't intervene. He turned you in his arms so you would be facing it. There. First thing first, I didn't help. They are my daughters to you, and it's my duty as well as my joy to take care of them. And secondly, he tucked you closer, whispering against your skin. Damn, loving you was never trouble. It has been always and will always be a pleasure, sweetheart. He gave out a bit the smile as he leaned in and frowned when he had a step back, glancing towards the bed at their babies. You followed his sign of his uncomfortable to say both Ale and Asha sleeping sound. Damn, it's a miracle they haven't wake up yet. He mumbled in amazement before you could ask your question. You checked. It was indeed this case. Whenever he would try to come close to you, either one of them would wake up and cry, waking the other. In the process of they would simply try to push him away, of course, with a fleeting kick and slaps. And while he was stuck on that, you would laugh, saying that it is his own genius in action. Yeah, otherwise, it is used with a child when I came close to you. How can they are right today? He added, looking back at you with his amused frown intact. You remain silent instead you inch closer to him, and with the support of his shoulder rising on your toes. I told you, they were like you, I said, but still jealous. Your mama asked it before pulling him into a throw, and much awaited kiss. His hands were around your waist on the record, and he closed his eyes, enjoying the bliss of your touch. The stars shone brighter in the sky, and behind the couple, the daughters cooked, cuddling each other, indeed being generous enough to give the parent their much needed moment, just a moment. Taeyang sighed, leaning his forehead in his shoulders as they were an eruption of cries from the room just when they pulled back from the kiss breathless. He grinned, seeing your eyes staring up due excessive laughter and hugging his sideways as they both walked inside to their ranges into the small world.